Hello everybody and welcome back once again to the Bailey Beatdown channel. Later on tonight we'll be doing a watch along of WrestleMania both nights here live on the YouTube channel from midnight UK time. I don't know what time that correlates to for everyone else. I'm going to be giving you today my WrestleMania predictions. Now I'm doing this completely off the dome because my laptop's dead, so I can't load up anything. Apparently the night one opener is going to be Rhea Ripley defending her World Heavyweight Championship against Becky Big Time Lynch. Although she's not Big Time Bex anymore. In my personal opinion, I believe Rhea Ripley should win this. Now, do I think she will? Yes, and I'll give a couple reasons. Rhea Ripley could use this as putting her up there. Even though she beat Charlotte last year, it will confirm her as Charlotte level final boss. Not The Rock. Not The Rock, though. Added on to that, Becky Lynch's contract is up in 2 months' time, as she revealed on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani. Now, I don't think they're going to put the title on someone who probably won't leave, but there's a chance that she does leave, even if it is only for a short period of time. They don't want to raise her stock much more in case she does leave, so I don't think she wins. I also don't think Becky needs it. I think Rhea's in a similar position to Gunther and Roman, where whoever beats them should be someone younger, and they can make them a star out of beating this one person, basically. I think that's what they should do with these long title reigns, is whoever beats them then, gets a big name themselves. So I believe Rhea Ripley will win. I think it will be a very good opener. I think it will probably be second best match of the night. 6-woman tag match with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill in her debut, and Naomi versus Damage Control. Jade's not losing her first match. I think we can all agree with that. I think Jade will probably get the hot tag at the end of the match, come in, destroy all three of them, and pin Dakota Kai. This will also keep Belair's winning streak on, and Naomi gets a win at her first WrestleMania back. I do feel a bit bad for her. She kind of feels like an afterthought in all this. But I do think that this is going to lead to Bianca and Naomi winning the tag belts, possibly at Backlash from Asuka and Kairi Sane. I think it'll be a very good match, but I don't think it'll go very long. I think it will mainly be Naomi and Bianca Belair carrying the match, and Jade getting the big sort of, final boss. That seems to be quite common. That Street Fighter power-up, the KO, the Mortal Kombat fatality. That will be Jade Cargill's role. So I'm predicting them to win. We then have the tag match, which is now, as of today, changed to Andrade and Rey Mysterio versus Dominic and Santos. Now, I think this actually makes it more difficult to predict, because if it was Dragon Lee, I'd say Dom's winning. Dom and Santos are winning. However, Andrade's first Mania back, maybe he doesn't want to lose. I think he will, though. I think him and Rey will lose via Carlito getting involved, not joining Legado del Fantasma, just getting involved and screwing over Rey for, not picking him twice, basically. I also do think, and this will be shown in my WrestleMania 41 predictions, which I'll post next week. That's right, I'm going to try predict Mania a year out. I think this will give Dom 1-1 versus Rey, so they'll be equal going into Mania 41, where they'll have Rey's final match in a hair versus mask match, which I think we all want Rey's last match to be, and I'm sure Rey would love his last match to be one-on-one against his son. So yeah, I think Santos and Dominic win. I think Santos will be a bit of an afterthought in all this, not going to lie, but I think they win via Carlito getting involved. Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Now, it makes sense for Gunther to lose the belt here, being Mania, having had it for a very long time, not really having too many more people to fight, really only Bronson Reed, Ivar, and Gable again. That could take him to SummerSlam, though, which would then put him in the perfect position for Bash at Berlin. And that's what I'm going with as well. I think Gunther's going to win. I don't think Sami Zayn needs it. Like I said with Rhea, I think it should be someone who hasn't had title reigns before, or many single reigns, where they can then be oh, look at this really good person. And I think Chad Gable is the perfect person to do that. I also think if Sammy does it, it will feel a bit meh, and that's not Sammy's fault at all. Everyone loves Sammy, but I think no one really wants Sammy to win the Intercontinental belt. They want him to win the World Heavyweight one. I think that's what most people want from him. So I don't really understand why they're pushing forward with possibly him winning. I don't think he will win though, to be honest. I think he'll come up short. I don't know if it'll be a screwy Chad Gable screws him. I don't know. But I think Gunther wins and he drops it at SummerSlam and then goes on to fight for the world title at Bash at Berlin, in my opinion. So, and he has a couple more feuds before then where he can, with Reed, with Ivar, Andrade if you really want. You know, so he has a few more matches before the Gable match. There's still stuff for him to do as Intercontinental Champion. So I think Gunther is going to win. Next match is the brother versus brother, Jay versus Jimmy. Now, I'm a bit unhappy that this hasn't got a stipulation. I feel like this story warrants a Hell in a Cell or something like that. But maybe this isn't the final match. But thinking of WrestleMania matches that way, I don't like it like that. So I think Jimmy and Jay should be in a Hell in a Cell, but that's just my opinion. I think Jay's going to win. I think he deserves it, and I think he will. I think he'll win. It'll be an all right match. Won't be great in my opinion, but then Jimmy will turn and join Jay again. You know, they'll make up. In my opinion. We then have what I think will be the best match of the night, which is the 6-pack ladder match. Now, they've been very, very specific and really hammered home the fact that both sets of titles need to be taken down for the match to end, which I think everyone has kind of figured out means that they're going to be splitting the belts. Now, who do I think will be the ones to get those belts? I think Awesome Truth are set to do it. And I think it'll be something they'll get it down first, probably the Raw ones, and then I don't think they'll hold it for very long, but I do think they'll win the Raw belts. SmackDown belts, however, are a bit different. Now, apparently Austin Theory and Grayson Waller were close to being cut from this match and weren't originally supposed to be in it. It was supposed to be Pretty Deadly. So, it's not going to be them. I don't think the New Day need it either. So, in my opinion, it is going to be... it will be DIY or New Catch Republic. I'm going to say probably DIY. I think on Twitter I said New Catch Republic, but I think DIY. I really like New Catch Republic, but they've only just had a title match for them. So, I mean, I could see it happening, but I think DIY is probably your best bet. And then you can have Regeneration X having all the belts on Raw. That would be quite funny. And then, you know, they've announced pretty much that they're doing the draft again in a month's time. Now, onto the main event. Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes against Roman Reigns and the final boss, The Rock. I think Rock and Roman are going to win. It makes sense for there to be Bloodline rules in the final one. I think Cody will probably eat the pin via The Rock, so because then you can have a thing later down the road of Rock v Rhodes. Maybe you can have Roman and Rock kind of fight over Tribal Chief because, you know, he lost, but Rock didn't lose. And yada, yada, yada. So, yeah, I think Rhodes might eat the pin for on that. It'll be a hell of a match. And then there will be Bloodline rules for the second night. And then on to night 2. Philly street fight between No One Cares and No One Cares. No one cares about this match. If it wasn't a Philly street fight, it would be SmackDown worthy. It'll be a fun match, I guess. And I think Karrion Kross will win because Triple H loves him. He's a big, meaty man. His promos online have been quite good recently, so they need to get that on TV. Unfortunately, I think Bobby's going to lose, but, you know, he's older. Don't put the older guy over the younger guy. Put Kross over. That's the smart thing to do. You need to start building newer stars. Kross is younger. Put him over. Do that, Bobby. Please. Please do that. I think it'll be a fun match, but no one really cares about it, do they? We then have the United States Championship triple threat between Logan Paul, the Maverick, Kevin Owens, and the Viper, Randy Orton. Now, if you'd asked me a month ago who I thought was going to win, I would have said Randy, probably, and had Kevin take the pin. But I think Logan's going to keep hold of the belt. And I think that's because his title reign post-Rumble has been really good. Pre-Rumble, very meh. But since the Rumble, it's been very, very good. And I think it's too good TV, and he's going to be around still. It's too good TV to stop at the moment, you know? And it's still in its very early days, and there's still a lot of people for him to have programs with. Obviously, with SummerSlam, I think he'll probably walk in as champion, and then lose it to LA Knight, I imagine. I just don't think, again, Kevin Owens or Randy need the belt. I'd like to see Kevin Owens with the US belt again. I would like to see him with the singles title again. But, again, similar to Sammy, I would much rather it be a world title. I also just think Logan Paul, given the fact that it's a triple threat, he can steal the win. Like, it can make people can look strong still. So, I think Logan will win. But you got to be careful with Randy because he hasn't won a big match since he came back yet. So you have to... It's Randy Orton. He's never going to be, like, not believable as a main eventer. But you got to be careful. He has to... If he doesn't win at Mania, he has to win at Backlash. Whatever he does, he has to win. But I think Logan will win, to be honest. And I think it'll be a really good match as well. A really, really good match. But Logan's going to win. And now... Again, a very underrated feud build. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Now, in ring, I don't think this is going to be great. LA Knight is amazing on the mic. In ring, he's good. He's just good. He's not, like, amazing. And AJ Styles himself has said recently that he feels like he is slowing down a bit. However, I do think this will still be a good match. I just don't think it will be an amazing match. It will be good. It will be decent. Again... It's a match, given the feud and how the home invasions and the beating up at WWE World deserves a more violent stipulation, in my opinion, such as Extreme Rules. Or, again, well, I don't actually think it's Hell in a Cell worthy, to be honest. But something like Extreme Rules would make sense for me. Or No Holds Barred, or Falls Count Anywhere. Something. But LA's going to get his WrestleMania moment, in my opinion. I don't think AJ Styles needs it. He kind of seems like he could fit in with anything you want him to do. If you wanted him to have a one-on-one match with Roman Reigns for the belt, would make sense. No one would bat an eyelid, really. If you wanted him to have a match for the US belt, no one would bat an eyelid, really. I think LA Knight deserves it as well. It's kind of like a crowning moment for him, given all the great work he's done since the Rumble last year with Bray Wyatt, how over he has gotten. And maybe it will boost his momentum again, because he lost a little bit with all the Roman Reigns world title picture, because I think they pushed him too high up the card too quickly. I think he should have gone after the US belt here. I would have obviously liked him to have won a mid-card title here. Maybe that would have been nice, but I think they might hold that off for SummerSlam, because it is a 70,000 seat stadium for SummerSlam. It's going to be a big one. What I believe, if The Rock hadn't shown up and, put his big head into everything, should have been the night one main event. And I think, unfortunately, this story's lost quite a lot of steam, but it's Io Sky versus Bayley. They're going to crown Bayley. She needs her big WrestleMania moment. Again, she deserves it. She's, in my opinion, a first ballot Hall of Famer, headliner Hall of Famer. So yeah, I see her winning. In a good match, a very, very good match, because Io Sky and Bayley are both very, very, very good. And I don't think she'll hold the belt very long, but she deserves it. I do think she'll win. It makes sense story-wise for her to win as well, unless they want to drag it out, but I don't think they will. I think she'll win and then lose it again, maybe to, I don't know, Tiffany Stratton. That's not going to happen. Bianca Belair. Let's be honest, it's Bianca Belair. Now, the two most interesting matches for outcome, I think, in the entirety of WrestleMania is the world title match between Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. Now, this has all the money in the bank nonsense, which could still show up. I bloody hope it doesn't. I think, again, Drew deserves his moment. Seth's reign has been long enough. My God, we wanted another world title so that we would see some changes and one person wasn't holding the belt all the time, and Rollins has held the belt the whole bloody time. Doesn't need to hold it any longer. There's no one else for him to feud with at the moment. Just leave him. Just leave him. If you really want, if Rhodes wins in the main event, you can do Rollins Rhodes again at Backlash and be like, oh, I was helping you out and you screwed me out of my title, so now I'm coming for your title. Wow, would you look at that? Nice story there. That works. Do that. Rollins doesn't need the belt. Drew deserves this moment. CM Punk get involved. I don't know. Screw over Rollins because he hates him more, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know. No idea. But I really hope they don't do the Money in the Bank cash-in. My fear is they're going to do Drew wins, gets his whole, "Hey, I won!" And then CM Punk gets in the ring and GTS's him, and Damien comes out and pins him. I would hate that. I would really hate that. And I hope that doesn't happen. But I've got a really bad feeling that's going to happen. I'm alright if Drew loses the belt on Raw via cash-in. That's fine with me. I just kind of want to leave Mania untouched by that Money in the Bank, because the problem is if you put Damien up against Seth or Drew or Punk, he doesn't seem like a credible winner. So don't put him in that segment. Yes, he might come out with a belt, but he won't feel like the world champion. But I think Drew's going to win, and I'm being honest, I think Priest will cash in, but I don't want him to. I really don't want him to, if you couldn't tell. Then on to the main event of the entire show, Roman and Cody 2. Cody's finishing the story. It has to happen now. If the problem is if he doesn't win, there is no one who looks like they could beat Roman in the next 2 years. They're doing Rock Roman at next year's Mania. It's pretty much certain. That doesn't need the belt. If it has the belt, Roman's winning. Definitely. If you don't have the belt, there's some jeopardy there, because Rock could possibly win. And then after that, it's another year's Mania. It'll be Mania 42 where he loses it. I think it's just time to take the belt off Roman. He doesn't need it. The Tribal Chief doesn't need the belt to feel like a big deal. 9 times out of 10, he's not the one holding the bloody thing. He doesn't need it to feel like the biggest star in the company, which is what he is. I think there'll be a bunch of screwy nonsense. Nonsense. It'll be really entertaining. Austin will come out. Cena should come out. Jay will probably come. They'll do the whole Avengers Assemble thing. I wouldn't be surprised if you had like them all line up on the ramp and then go and then run down the thing. But I don't know, to be perfectly honest. I don't know who that will entail. It could be everyone Roman screwed over, maybe. But I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. I don't think Seth will be a part of that final segment either, though, because he will just have had his match. So I don't know, though. Maybe they won't do any screwy nonsense. But I think Cody's winning. I think it's the right time. I know we all said this last year, but now is definitely the right time, because Roman can now go away and come back at SummerSlam, have a match against Solo for the right to be Tribal Chief, because Rock and Roman haven't been there. Oh, Tribal Combat. Oh, Roman's still Tribal Chief. Cool. Or maybe Roman loses and now Solo's Tribal Chief. And now Roman's like, actually, loses via Rock interference. And then Roman fights The Rock at Mania for the title of The Final Boss. Do that. Doesn't need the belt. Please take the belt off him. He's great and I love him and it's been a great run. But my God, please lose the belt. Please. Please. Those are my predictions for WrestleMania. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. There's a video every day starting tomorrow, basically. Do with that what you will.